Hi Bonnie and Carol. I wanted to put this video together for you because I wanted to do my best to illustrate what the home inspector was referring to when he was talking about water puddling on the flat roof. This is the area that he's referring to. That's the west side. This is the east side over here. And as you can see, I just sprayed water all through here. There's one of the scupper roof drains there. And here's the scupper there. So what the inspector is referring to, and it happened to rain the day before, so it was very clear that there was standing water. And I don't know if I'm gonna kind of put my hands in so you can see it. Standing water on the flat part of the roof, and it happens to be on both ends. It's just the way it's framed. Ideally, you don't want standing water, no doubt about it. However, if you go on any flat roof in Arizona, and I've been on many of them as a general contractor, home builder, there's no such thing as a flat roof that doesn't have depressions where you have ponding. So one of the things I want to note is there's a minimum registrar contractor standard for this specific topic, and the requirement is that you can have puddling water up to 1/2 inch as long as it will dry within 48 hours after the rain stops. And that's the minimum standard requirement. That's also in the Uniform Building International Building Code as far as code for flat roofs. So what I want to show you, I took my tape measure here, and you can see the little arrows on both sides. I hope you can see that well. That's right where the 1/2 inch mark is. I did that so that I wouldn't have to try and point while I'm holding the camera at the same time. So those arrows are where the 1/2 inch mark is, from the bottom of the edge of the ruler there to those arrows. And I'm gonna try to get this in the sun here so you can see it really well. Hopefully this will work out. So you can see how deep the water actually is. And that's not even coming up to the 1/2 inch. I'm going to try and wiggle it around so you can see the water moving. I'm going to go to the deepest point. It's about an 1/8 inch under. Let me get away from the shadow here. I hope you guys can see this. If you can't, I'd be happy to demonstrate again, and then obviously it gets less and less as you move out. But there's a depression here, no doubt about it. Let me get out of the shadow. There's a depression here, and the water's coming up about 1/8 inch shy of 1/2 inch. You can see there's a little light spot between the water and the little arrow. And then I'm going to go over to the other side. You can see here I sprayed the water just a couple of minutes ago, and the area in the middle here is already bone dry. That's how fast water evaporates here, so I don't think there's going to be an issue with this water evaporating within 48 hours. That's why we have the rule, though. And over here on this side, again, this is the lowest point, and it looks like it's just not quite 1/2 inch, but very close. But again, that's the deepest part. This will probably be dried up in a matter of an hour and a half, not 48 hours. And as you can see, looking at the actual rolled roofing material, it's thick, it's granulated, which means it's protected from the sun, and it's in solid shape all the way across. Let me step back here. And there's no flaking, no chips or dents in it, no cuts in it. This is what was being referred to on the report regarding the flat roof. Again, it's not an issue. We didn't hire a roofer to come out because I'm familiar enough with code, and I'm going to provide that for you as well. I'll give you the actual code, and I'll give you the references so that you can find them yourself if you'd like to. But this is the flat roof area that he was referring to. This roof has been here since the house was built 10 years ago. Obviously there's no leaks. It rained cats and dogs the night before the inspection. If there was a leak or an issue, you would have seen a leak inside the home. The other issue regarding water, and let me grab my level here, was the chimney cap not draining away from the flue, which is right here. So this whole base here is the chimney cap. And just so you know, this whole base is one solid sheet of metal, and it's not roofing material or underlayment, it's actually metal. So number one, it's much more resistant to water than a roofing underlayment. And you can't see underneath there. It's required for there to be a 1/2 inch gap between that little flange and the bottom. That's why it's raised up. That's supposed to be that way. And underneath that, there's a bead of roofing caulk around that stovepipe so that water doesn't penetrate in there. Now, the only way I can show you this, because I don't think water will even stay up here, as far as, you know, if there was any puddling going on under here, because it's depressed in the middle, this is the best way to show you. If you can see underneath that level there, there's not even maybe 1/8 of an inch. So same rule applies. This is basically considered a non-livable but still a roof area, and this is no more than an 1/8 of an inch deflection, if that. So if you had a rainfall and rain were to collect under this, there's no way that it's going to sit there. Okay, we might have a little more deflection here, so to give you a better idea, you might have below on the underside of that level there, you can see a little bit of a gap right through here. But again, it's probably 1/4 inch. So you might have a little water puddle here. This is just a metal strap that I don't know why it was left sitting here. It's not attached to anything or anything. It's just. But anyway, the important part is if water were to puddle in this little area, it's on metal and it's going to evaporate in probably 10 minutes. So let me give you a top view of what we're looking at. Again, it's all one solid cap. That's the way these are made. I'm sorry for the bad photography. Just want to make sure you get a really good view of the whole thing all the way around. And basically, just so you understand, this little shroud on top is sitting on top of this pan. So this pan actually is solid all the way through and goes over the edge. These are just a few screws that are attaching the shroud to the solid pan. But this is what keeps the water from coming into your chimney. There's no breaks, no cracks in it. All the caulk that was originally put over the screws is still intact. So I just want to make sure I can alleviate any potential concerns about the two items regarding the roof that were requiring attention on the inspection report. The only other things on the roof that were requiring attention are a couple of these are broke. We have extras. We will certainly be happy to have somebody come out and cut new pieces to fit and replace these cracked tiles. I think there's 3 or 4 of them on the report in different parts of the roof area. That's something that any handyman can do. The only purpose of this tile is to shed water. It's not supposed to be waterproof, and the main purpose of this tile is to prevent the sunlight from getting to the underlayment, which is the real waterproofing of the roof. So as long as you don't have, even though that this particular tile is cracked, there's another tile under it, so sunlight never even got into there. And that's the case on all this other cracked tiles. But we will definitely get those replaced. We have spares. The builders left spares when they built the home. I'm going to show you what those spares look like. Right here. These 2 tiles right here are actually just sitting on top. They're not actually part of the roof system, and they're spares, and there's 2 more on the other side where the ponding was taking place. So I just wanted to send this along with our response, because I didn't want you to think that we weren't concerned about Carolyn's future maintenance. I personally do not feel there's ever going to be an issue with this, other than, roofs don't last forever, but there's no deterioration in these depressed areas. Yes, you're going to have standing water every time it rains, and it's going to evaporate within a few hours. Thank you for watching.